We're in Indore, India, and today we're taking you on a massive food hunt that is starting at breakfast time and going right through to late night snacks. Let's go and get our first thing.
Indore is one of India's street food capitals. This video is part of our huge India series, and we're taking you on a massive street food tour to hunt down Indore's best food from breakfast right through to late night snacks. We'll be eating some of Indore's most delicious foods and visiting Sarafa Bazaar, the famous late night street food paradise. So make sure you watch right to the end because you don't want to miss this.
I'm Thomas.
And I'm Sheena, and we're chasing a plate.
We hope you're hungry. Let's eat. No food hunt in Indore would be complete without Poha Jalebi to start us off. So this is a breakfast dish, and the Poha is a flattened rice dish, and then the Jalebi is a super sweet dish to go with it. Let's go check this one out. We've got our plate of the famous Poha Jalebi. So the Poha portion of this dish is what's underneath. It's this flattened rice. You can see the rice are very flattened. They've been squished, and that is covered in red onion, little puff rice krispies. These noodles are chickpea chev, the tiny little ones. And then it looks like another form of chickpea noodle, that fatter one. That's got a little wedge of lime, and there's some greens in there as well. And the jalebi is what's sitting on top, and this is actually a sweet treat. So it's a really basic batter which is piped into some very, very hot oil and then dunked into a sugar syrup. So you can see it's really shiny and looks super, super crispy. So I'm gonna try some of that rice first. Oh, and the lime. So that little wedge of lime that's in there, I'll squeeze over my rice just to give it a good bit of acidity. All right, oh no, I'm spilling it everywhere. Okay, I'm going for a big spoon, just trying to get all those different elements in there. Oh yeah. That rice is so soft. So soft. It just dissolves in your mouth. And then you've got all the little crispy bits. And a lot of flavor from spice. I can see some mustard seeds in there. And they add a really good rounded flavor. And I saw him shake on some spice mixture. And there's a good little bit of chili going on in there too. And let's try the jalebi. So they're sitting on top. Oh, that is so crispy, but my fingers just went straight through it. All right, oh, it feels really sticky. Whoa. Oh, that is super sweet. The sugar syrup burst out of the inside. It's gone like hollow after the batter's gone in the oil. Yeah. So these greens I can see in here, I've seen coriander and also some spring onions, and I love the different textures that are going on in this. It's got the spices, the chili heat, and then the textures, the super soft rice, the crunchy fresh red onion. Oh, all those crunchy little crispy bits on top, so the rice carbs and the chickpea noodles. And then these make for an amazing combo. The variance is so different because that's very savory, it's quite salty, it's a little bit spicy, and then the jalebi are ridiculously sweet. Whoa. Whoa, that is how you counter some saltiness. That is a really good combo. Talk about cover the bases on a breakfast dish. You've got super savory, super sweet, so everyone's happy. Savory lovers and sweet lovers. That is a really good start to get us going on this Indore food hunt today. Now it's time for our lunch stop, and we're having dal Bafla, which is a specialty in this region. Now we've walked up and down the street and we cannot find the restaurant we're looking for, but we've spoken to some locals and apparently it's right through this door, so let's go see if we can find it. We're still not sure where this restaurant is, but some more locals have pointed us up this stairwell. So no signage that we can read. Let's go see if we can find it.
this is the Bafla, and we've ordered it as part of a thali. So a thali is a meal which is made up of loads of different dishes. So this here is the Bafla. Then we've got, to go with it, some mint and coriander chutney. This red one here is some garlic and red chili powder chutney. We've got some salad with some raw carrots, cucumber and onion. A little pot of dal. This yellow one here is khadi curry, which is made up of curd and also some turmeric. And then this here is a potato curry. And to finish, we've got a laddu, or a sweet. The Bafla is made up of a wheat and ghee and spice dough, and what they do is they boil it, they bake it, and then they deep fry it. And the idea is to break it up with your hands. I'm just gonna break it up there, and then to add the dal to it. So let's just pour some of that dal over it, and then mix it up a little, and let's give it a try. It smells really good. The Bafla is it's quite heavy, but once you add that dal, it gives it a lot of life. So the dal is very savoury, it's a bit salty. The Bafla is quite dense, so it's going to be really filling. It reminds me of a really dense cake. And then there's a really good chili hit in that dal. The dal has a lot of flavour. You can really taste those spices and that chili in there. I'm going to take some of this dal Bafla and then swipe it through those chutneys. So the green chutney and also that garlic chutney with the chili powder. Alright. That really lifted it up a notch. The garlic chutney is really strong. And then that coriander mint chutney is really fresh, so it really adds a lot of flavour to the Bafla. I reckon it needs it. It doesn't have too much flavour on its own, and it's quite dense, but once you add those other components, it really sort of lifts it. One of the staff came over and said that the proper way to enjoy Bafla is to mix all the chutney through the Bafla, add the potato curry, and then also some more of that dal, and just to really get all of those flavours going. So I'm going to mix it all up and go for a huge bite. Alright. Oh yeah. That is certainly the way to do it. That bite was so good because it had the crunchy outer shell of the Bafla and then that creamy spicy potato. That dal has so much flavour. It's got cloves, it's got mustard seeds, it's got curry leaves, and all those spices are just adding to the mix, as well as all those chutneys. This yellow mixture here looks really interesting, so I'm just going to give that a go as well. I'll get my spoon in there. So it's got curd and also turmeric. So it's a really watery consistency, but it's super creamy in texture, and it's quite sour and it's quite spicy. It hit me in the back of the throat. The Bafla just got better and better, so I ended up adding that curd mixture to the Bafla and then mixing it all through with that potato, the chutneys, the dal, and it just became the texture of like a soft, moist, really flavoursome, savoury cake. It was so tasty. Now to the laddu. So this is the sweet, and it's got some pistachio and some cashew nut in there. So I'm going to break it up and then just give it a bit of a bite. Wow, it's such an interesting texture. It's almost like the texture of sugar. It's almost crispy. That's so interesting. It's very sweet, and you can tell it's got a lot of ghee in it. This laddu is completely Moorish. It's got a really crumbly texture, even though there's a lot of ghee in there. And it really has a strong taste of saffron, which is quite a floral flavour.
Nighttime has fallen here in Indore now, so we're back out on the streets to food hunt, and we're starting with a saffron milk drink. This saffron milk we're about to order is in the biggest pan I have ever seen. So it is heating in this pan. It's covered in pistachios, and you can see how yellow it is from that saffron. We've got to order one of these. Oh my god, this thing is incredible. It's so big and it smells so good. We've got a cup of this drink and it looks incredible. So you can see the very yellow milk. It is super hot. Without these tissues, I couldn't be holding on to this. And then on top, they skim off a whole lot of cream from this ridiculous pan. I mean, you can see all the cream on top. And that is covered in pista or pistachios. So finely sliced pistachios. Oh, wow. Wow. Let's give it a go. Oh man, oh that is so good. It's super creamy and it's not actually that sweet. I was expecting it to be a huge kick of sugar, but it's really not. Let's go for a bit more. I want to suck up a bunch of this cream. You can see it's just sticking to the lip, the thin liquid underneath. Let's try and suck some of that cream back and a whole lot of that liquid. Wow. Wow. The saffron flavor is not ridiculously strong, but it's a beautiful floral flavor. That skin, it tastes like the skin on the top of a rice pudding, like an English rice pudding. Super creamy. You can't really taste the nuts, but they add a tiny bit of texture. Wow, that is unreal. That is unreal. And watching them make it in this huge pan, whipping up that cream, filling up all these cups. There's so many people here just knocking back a cup of this stuff. We're right down the bottom now, and there is just a huge piece of that cream left. So I'm gonna try and get that all in. Whoa, only got about half. It was about this thick, like a centimeter thick. Oh, this is unreal. I love this drink. It's so good.
Now we've come to the famous street food area in Endor of Sarafa Bazaar. So this street food area is located right in the middle of a jewelry bazaar, and when the jewelry shops close, all the street food vendors come out. So from about 9 p.m. to the wee hours of the morning, people come here to eat, and that's what we're here to do. So let's go and grab something.
Time for our next street snack, and we're going to go to this stall right here with this crowd of people, and that's because this stall is really famous. So from this place, we're going to get a Dahi vada. What makes this stall famous is when he's making the dish. So it's a lentil, donut and curd dish, and when he's putting it all together, he bips it up in the air, so it's really spectacular. So let's go and grab one. I got the bowl of Dahi vada here. So it is lentil donuts, which are these. I'll try and lift it up. Whoa, it's really heavy. So you can see lentil donut under there. It's got curd all over the top, and then all these spices that he was crushing on top as he was making it. And there's also some sauce I saw go in there, which I think might be a tamarind sauce. You can see all the different colors from the different spices. So there's 5 different masalas or spices on there. Let's just break off a big piece of donut. Oh, covered in curd. Wow. So I think when he's throwing it in the air, it's to demonstrate how thick the curd is. But actually, it's not that thick. It's almost like a thin sort of yogurt texture. And then the spices on top are amazing. I got a big burst of chili, like spiced chili, really hot chili there. I'm gonna dive in and get some more. There's a donut. There's a great vessel for all that flavor. Oh, look at that. All right, another good spoon. The donut's gone really soft from being covered in that curd, so it's gone all squishy. It's taking on all the moisture. The curd is a little bit sharp, a tiny bit sweet. It's quite salty, has that chili spice, and then all those other spices. So not too many ingredients, really. Just come together to make an absolute burst of flavor there.
We're at the same stall, and besides being famous for his Dahi vada, Mr. Joshi is also famous for his butekikis, which is this dish here. It's made up of boiled and mashed corn, which has been lightly fried, and then it's been covered with coriander, some grated coconut, and also some masala. There's some chili powder there, and I also think there's some dried mango powder. I'm gonna mix it up and give this thing a taste. Wow! It's got so much flavor. It's quite sweet. It's a really hot dish, so it's served warm. And then you've got that beautiful vibrancy of that coriander, and then the spice on there. You can really taste some fennel and some cumin, and that mango powder is quite sweet. Let's go for another taste. Look at that. It's quite a soft consistency. That mouthful was really savoury, so the chili powder was quite hot, but then that shredded coconut has imparted this beautiful flavour. The corn looks really stodgy, but in fact it's really lovely and light, and there is just so much flavour. The mango powder is so sweet. That hit of chili, and then that really vibrant, flavoursome coriander, and then all those spices, so cumin, fennel seed, mustard seeds, it's so tasty. There's lots to eat here at Sarafa Bazaar, but I've just spotted a stall which is selling shikhandi, a famous Endora drink, so let's go and grab a glass. 60. I've got a glass of Indore shikhandi here, and look how thick this thing is. So it's made up of thickened, creamy, sweetened milk, and it's got a bunch of sultanas and also I think nuts in there as well, and it's yellow because it's saffron flavoured. Let's just try this. Wow, I gotta go for a second spoon, it's so good. It's nice and cool, very creamy. It's almost like a thin custard, very milky, and then it's got a really floral fragrance from that saffron. I'm loving the nuts in there because it just adds a bit of texture. And then in that mouthful there was a sultana. This thing is so addictive. It's so creamy, sweet, and really refreshing, especially when you're just standing right in the middle of a busy bazaar. There's traffic roaring past, it's hot. This is the perfect remedy.
Now we're going to grab a snack from this stall, which has been here for 120 years. It's samosa time, and I love this stand. These guys are right up on the stage with a huge wok full of oil. He's tossing in tray after tray of samosa into there, and you just walk up to the cool little stand, grab your samosa, and they do it really simply. So they crush a hole in the middle of this really thick pastry and then fill it with green chutney, so probably a coriander chutney. Let's just break off a bit. Oh, I can see all this potato filling in there as well. Let's break off. Wow, it is super, super thick. Look at that skin. I can hardly break it up actually. I'm just gonna go for this middle bit. Whoa, and there's some brown chutney, so probably some tamarind chutney on there as well. Oh, wow. It's really sour. But the filling, the potato filling is super sour. Wow, and really sweet. I'm just gonna grab another big bit. So look at that potato in there. Really, really soft and squishy. Let's just spoon a whole lot out. Come here. There you go. Right, here we go. Oh wow. The pastry on the outside is really crunchy, but then it's very soft. It's almost buttery. It just collapses in your mouth after you've crunched through it. The center is, like I said, very sour, very sweet, but also very spicy and salty. So it's got like every flavor profile going on, just clashing together, but it really works. The spice is not too hot, the chili spice. The potato's super creamy. That is a really, really good snack. This samosa is a great example of the diversity in India. So you'll find samosas everywhere, a really common street snack. But this one is a sort of an Indore specialty, being as sour as it is. And I love that, how this tastes so different to any other samosa we've had while we've been in India. It is a great little snack. I love the sourness, I love the creaminess, and I love the crunch on that pastry. Unreal snack. A massive day of food hunting here at Indore. We've covered a lot of the city and really cool finishing up in this really crazy bazaar.
Thank you so much for watching. Remember to hit that subscribe button. We've got a ton of videos coming from India. Remember to hit that thumbs up. And if you want to support more Chasing a Plate content, check out our Patreon page. Link on the screen. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Al Bada.
Al Bada.